Oregon and New Hampshire. What a shock to a South Carolina boy. I thought we had the corner on rednecks. Jesus, man. I got him here. Jeez. Well, anyway, here it was. I was trying to talk to my dad, and I had no problem. I'm a musician type. I'm not a musician. You know, there are people who are out who don't understand that we actually are working people who work very hard at our jobs, and we try to make people connect and be, you know what I mean, but we're called musician types, artist types. And but people like me, I'm unafraid of expressing myself to people about how I feel about things. But I hesitated with my dad because of the tradition. Because, you know, he was Lieutenant, Captain, Major, Colonel, Left Brain Sirius Williams. But I had things to say, and he was on the way out. He had lucid moments, just a few left, 1 or 2 a week. And I waited till they happened. And one time when he was right there in 2005, I blurted out everything I ever wanted to say. I just said it all, got it all out. And then the big surprise was that he said it all right back. So, wow. He had nothing left to lose. He had nothing left to prove himself. He couldn't stand up and strut around like Colonel Williams. He was a guy like me. He was lying there and he couldn't talk anymore, couldn't move. And we figured that the conversation was now over until somebody down the hall said something funny, and my daddy laughed. Then I found out that not only could he hear impeccably, because I didn't hear it, but he could understand what was being said. So we continued the conversation. It's a little one-sided, but we made sure he was included. And the people who come in there, you know, they talk around the patients. You know, the people who come in taking care of them, they talk around them. You know, and you know, this man's lying here in bed and he's conscious, and they're, you know, well, here's this old guy here. You see that spot on his toe? Yeah, well, he's probably going to die soon. You know, I mean, these people don't understand, and they particularly think the people in Alzheimer's units. They think all elderly people are deaf. They come in the morning and lean down in my dad's face. Come on, Colonel Williams! I mean, and I could see my dad lying there like, God, if I could just grab your throat. And so I took a magic marker and a piece of paper and I put a little note up above my dad's bed. I wrote, "Welcome to room 12. I'm Colonel Jack L. Williams, retired U.S. Army. I can hear every damn thing you say. Keep your voice down." Hope somebody does that for me today. Well, I won't be able to hear them. It just occurred to me. Never mind, disregard that wish. Because he could hear. I got these hearing aids in here. I can't hear anything. What? Well, how many of you women in a negative moment have ever said, "Oh God, I'm becoming my mother"? Well, this is an interesting thing, because as a kid, I'd look at Colonel Williams, and as much as I loved him as my dad, I knew that I was never ever going to be like him. I didn't want to be like him. He was impatient. He was, you know, there were things about us that were just opposite, totally opposite. And yet here he lay, and I was taking care of him, and I looked down and I realized that I had become this man in spite of all of my best wishes to otherwise. And I looked down and I realized that not only had I become him, I was proud of it. It was a privilege. It was an honor to be who this man was. Sometimes you have to find this out at the end. It's a little late to learn, but better late than never. I could tell, especially, I could read his mind, watch his eyes when we walked into the room. His eyes would follow us around. And then when I walked in with the guitar around my shoulder, he really watched me. Because he didn't care that much for music, remember? So he knew he was about to be subjected to my last dirty trick on him. Hell, I had him where I wanted him. And his eyes said, "You're going to do it, aren't you? You're going to play all that heavy singer-songwriter stuff that I never wanted to hear." And I thought about it, but I didn't. I played what he liked. My dad likes humor in music. Now there's something to be said for this. I used to think it was kind of dumb on his part to be so narrow. But now, after hearing some of my colleagues play 15 or 20 failed relationship songs in a row, I'm beginning to think my dad had a point. So I didn't play him all that heavy singer-songwriter stuff. I played him what he would like. And you know, he would like it if I had taken a Baptist hymn, written some risky lyrics to it. But my dad, as serious as he was, Army colonel, left brain, when the lights went down, it was almost time for him to go to bed, and we were all going to bed. And he was walking around in his skivvies. He'd encounter me in the hall, and he'd march around, and he'd put on a fake Johnny Cash voice, and he'd sing, I keep my pants up with a piece of twine. I keep my eyeballs focused all the time. I keep my ends loose for the ties that bind. If you'll be mine, please pull the twine. So I played it for him. People probably wondered what in the heck was going on in room 12, but I didn't care. So I wanted to play this next song that I'll be in the set with, and I will be back, by the way, whether you are or not. But I wanted to play this song for him because I put it on an album as a tribute to my dad, as one of the 12, 13 songs that I thought would be relevant to him in his life. He never got to hear the album, but it was my tribute to him. And I should have played this song. I didn't write it. But the only reason I didn't play this because I knew he wouldn't like it if I told him Bob Dylan wrote it. That's, you know, that's like the deal breaker. But I think he would have liked it. So I'm going to play it. We got a CD set up somewhere, right back in here. And my wife Judy, please. I'll be back there too, and please come by. You don't have to buy any CDs. We don't do hard sell like, you know, we don't want you to feel embarrassed like you feel when you go through the flea market, you know. You don't feel like bad about just looking and not buying. And you see all the people sitting there. I know the feeling. But please come and chat with us anyway. But don't avoid us because you think we want you to buy something. But don't pass up the mailing list, or we will track you down to your home. I didn't mean that. Bob Dylan song for Lieutenant Captain Major Colonel Williams, sir. Buckets of rain, buckets of tears, got all of them buckets coming out of my ears. I got buckets of moonbeams in my hand. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. Now it ain't no riddle, it ain't no joke. I've seen pretty people disappear like smoke, and friends who rise, they'll disappear. If you want me, honey, baby, I'll be here. Wild thing. Was that right, Brandy? Yeah. Yeah, I like the smile from your fingertips. I like the way that you wiggle your hips. I like the cool way you look at me. Everything about you is bringing me misery. Yeah, little red wagon, little red bike. Ain't no monkey, but I know what I like. I like the way you love me, strong and slow. Well, I'm taking you with me, honey, baby, when I go. Sad, life is a bust. All you can do is do what you must. When you do what you must do, and you do it well, I'll do it for you, honey, baby, can't you tell? Now buckets of rain, buckets of tears, I got all them buckets coming out of my ears. I got buckets of moonbeams in my hand. You get all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. Thank you all very much. If you Hallelujah. I'll be back shortly.
That's